One of the most dreaded words in our English language is probably the word cancer. The word cancer. To go to a doctor because you're not feeling well, and then to find out after they do the diagnosis that you have cancer. And you hear that word cancer, it brings all sorts of thoughts and fears and things into your mind concerning your family, your future, your health, and maybe even insurance and financially trying to deal with it. It covers so much territory, and usually it brings the thought of facing death and eternity. Literally over 606,520 people will die of cancer in the United States alone in 2020. Over 1,660 people a day will die of cancer. Every year, 1.8 million people are diagnosed with cancer. 1 in 2 people in a lifetime will experience some form of cancer, they tell us. Yes, cancer is something that is a reality that we live with, we deal with, and we must work our way through. But just like cancer is a kind of invisible condition that takes place in our bodies when the cells break down, can't fight the bad cells, etc. And I'm not sure all that is involved with it medically because I'm not a medical doctor. There is a bigger cancer. There's a worse cancer, and that is not a cancer of the body. It is a cancer of the soul. And that's when we look at this name Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals. The Lord who heals. I'd like for us to look at the context of when we're introduced to the name Jehovah Rapha today in Exodus chapter 15. Remember, the nation of Israel has been down in Egypt for over 400 years. They've grown into a great nation. They end up in bondage, and then God sends a deliverer, Moses, and they see the 10 plagues that are put down upon Egypt, and then they see God deliver them by His mighty hand as He opens up the Red Sea, and they walk across and they are delivered, and the armies of Pharaoh are destroyed, and they're on the other side. And when you come to Exodus 15, they're rejoicing, they're happy, they're singing songs. And then they go 3 days journey into the wilderness, just 3 days, 3 days. You see, we get saved. We cross the Red Sea, the river of redemption, the sea of redemption, the blood of Christ, and we find eternal life. And we find what life is all about. And we see the power of God take away our sin and deliver us from the habits of sin and the guilt of sin. We find forgiveness with God. Then all of a sudden, we go 3 days journey on our Christian experience. The wilderness of sin is what it's actually literally called. And in this wilderness, we encounter this place called Mara, this place where the water that they were so thirsty turns out to be bitter, and they couldn't drink of it, and they begin to complain. Boy, the lesson here is so powerful. So when did God show up as Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals you? He showed up as Jehovah Rapha in a place of bitterness after great victory. Usually the hard and tough and difficult things in life that happen to us sometimes happen after we've experienced wonderful things. I mean, a wedding, a baby being born, a new experience, that just maybe a new job, a new raise, a new position, and it's good. But then right around the corner, something bad happens. We get offended, we get hurt. And if we're not careful and we respond the wrong way, that which we thought would bring us satisfaction and quench our thirst in life brings us tremendous bitterness. And that's when God shows up as Jehovah Rapha. Now, we're going to be talking about dealing with the bitterness of life, the cancer of the soul that's destroying more people than the cancer of the body. And I trust as we meet God by this name, Jehovah Rapha, that He will encourage you, and you'll find that He will heal you of that great pain in your soul. And we thank the Lord for His provision through Jehovah Rapha even today. God bless you. Have a great day.